Welcome to our webinar, Create and Send Your First Email Campaign in 15 Minutes or Less. If you're a note taker, grab a pen and paper. If not, don't worry, you'll receive a recording of the webinar in your inbox later today, so you can follow along with the recording later. During today's webinar, we'll spend the first 25 minutes in presentation mode, where I'll introduce today's concepts. Then I'll spend about 20 minutes in a live constant contact account walking you through the steps to accomplish what you've learned. And then I'll save about 10 to 15 minutes for some Q&A at the end. Now, before we dive into our session today, I wanted to let you know about all the tools that we have available to get your online marketing on track. We've got tools for creating great looking email marketing campaigns with welcome emails, list join tools and automation, the ability to create a great looking website and online store, logos to really bring your brand to life, easy to use tools for creating digital ads for Google, Facebook, and Instagram to help you find new customers and even build your email list, plus the ability to stay on top of your social media efforts. You can create posts and reply to social messages as well. We've got all of these great tools, features, and our expert guidance you need to help you succeed all in one place. Let's go ahead and dive into today's session. Let's start by taking a look at this email created several years ago by a constant contact customer named Peter, who owns the cheese shop. Now, how many of you remember receiving or sending emails that look a lot like this with a lot of text and multiple columns? Just go ahead and raise your hand. See a couple hands there. Or maybe you're still seeing emails like this, or maybe you're sending emails like this perhaps. Okay, yeah, I see a couple hands there. All right, well, email marketing today allows you to reach your customers or members wherever they are, including on their mobile phone. Just think, over 2.5 billion people in the world own smartphones, and approximately 60% of emails are opened on a mobile device. Reading this email on a mobile phone would be almost impossible. Plus, this email took Peter so long to create that he didn't send on a regular basis. Those are a few reasons why you shouldn't be sending emails like this. Instead, we recommend that you start out by creating a reusable master template that looks more like this. This design is much more simple and it's mobile responsive to look great on any device. This will require a little time and work up front, but it will help you to create emails more quickly. You'll set your master template up to match your branding and include social media and contact information that will remain consistent over all of your emails. Then when you're ready to create an email campaign, you'll just make a copy of it and add in your own content. Using a master template is going to make it easier for you to get your email marketing out the door and look great when you have many other hats to wear for your business. Now, before you spend time creating your email campaign, it's important to think about what you want to send. We recommend sending an email at least twice a month, and there are two types of email campaigns: promotional emails and non-promotional emails. Now, promotional emails have a date associated with them, and you can encourage your readers to take a specific action to buy a product or service. Essentially, you're looking to directly drive revenue with a promotional email. The call to action for a promotional email may include registering for an event, redeeming a coupon, or making a purchase or donation. A non-promotional email is less sales-driven and more focused on building relationships and providing value to your subscribers. Here, your call to action will drive people to your valuable content and may include watching an educational video, downloading an ebook, or viewing a list of product testimonials. Ideally, you want to send a mixture of these two types of emails, as no one wants to be sold to all the time. You can even marry the two types together by providing some helpful or valuable information that entices them to make a purchase. No matter what you choose to send, the design is going to be the same no matter what. You'll notice these email examples look similar, it's just the content that is different. So now you have a basis for getting started with email marketing. Let's talk about the agenda for the webinar today and what we're going to accomplish. First, we're going to review the 7 essential elements that you need to design an effective email campaign. Then we'll jump into a live demo account so that I can show you how to create your own reusable template to save time. And lastly, we'll discuss how to write your email to get your readers to take an action. Also show you how to use your reusable template and add in the content for your email campaign. Now, before we get into everything, I want to introduce myself. My name is Sarah. I'm a senior professional services consultant. I have been with Constant Contact. It'll be 12 years, November 1st. So I love working with Constant Contact. I love being here. I love helping people be successful. I'm also here today with my colleague Dominique. She is chatting. So if you have any questions, pop those questions in and we'd be more than happy to help. Let's go ahead and get started. First up are the 7 elements that you'll need to design your email. No matter what type of email you're sending, you'll need these 7 elements that are designed to drive action and make your email easy to read. I'm going to give you a brief overview of the elements, and then we're going to take a closer look at each. First is the header information. It's the first thing someone sees in the inbox. This lets them know who the email is from, who to respond to, and what it's about. Second is the pre-header, which is a line of text that appears beneath or after the subject line in the inbox, and it's the first thing someone reads after your subject line. Third is your logo and company colors. These will be used to reinforce your brand and make it easy for people to recognize your business. Next, you'll want to include an image to support your message. This image would be used to entice your readers to take action. Number 5 is the message body. This contains information about your offer and how it'll benefit your audience. Number 6 is to give your readers one clear action to take. This action can be anything from buy now to pledge your support or get yours today. Use a clickable button and make it easy for your audience to take action. Number 7 is the footer information towards the bottom of your email. Make sure you're showing readers how they can connect with you both further on and offline. Add your contact information, hours, as well as buttons with your active social channels in this area. It's pretty simple, and you only need these 7 elements to create a successful email campaign. When we get to the demo, I'm going to show you how to create a reusable master template that has all of your branding and footer elements. When you use your template, you'll only need to change these 5 content elements, so you'll save yourself a ton of time. Now let's talk about each of these elements in greater detail so you know how to implement them. To start, let's discuss the elements of the header of your email campaign. Now, you may not think the header plays an important role in design, but we include it here because it's the first thing people see in their inbox. It's your first and only chance to catch your readers' attention and get them to open up the email. People are making quick decisions in their inbox every day, so you want to use this element to your advantage. The from information is what displays first for your contacts. It is comprised of the from name and the from email address. Ideally, you want to use an email address from your business domain, and the from name will most likely be your company name. Once you've chosen a recognizable from information, stick with it to avoid confusion for your readers. Here's an example from Southside Cycling. You'll see that the from name is Southside Cycling, and the email address is bikes@southsidecycling.com. This information is easily recognizable to their subscribers. This next field is the reply to email address. Typically, the from and reply to email address is the same. The key here is that someone is going to receive and monitor the email address for replies. The from and reply email address are 2 sections that typically will not change. So set them up first in your reusable master template and you'll be good to go. That said, you only need to change the subject line and pre-header text with each email campaign you send. When thinking of subject lines, think small. 4 to 7 words is the ideal length for successful subject lines, and you want to provide a quick glimpse of what the email is about. Some people find it easier to write the subject line after they've finished writing the email, since they have a much better idea of what the email is about. It also allows them to pull out clever phrases, words, or elements of the email to craft a compelling subject line. But you should do whatever feels most natural to you. Now, the pre-header text displays just below or after the subject line in the inbox. Your readers will typically see 5 to 8 words in this area, so use this as an extension of your subject line to further grab the reader's attention. Think of it as your last chance. Those are the elements you'll need to add to your header information. Next, let's talk about the design elements of your reusable template. No matter what template you choose, you want to make it look like your brand. So first, you'll want to place your logo in the top left or center. This will ensure that your brand is recognized right away because it's the first thing your subscribers see within the body of the email. People are used to clicking on images while shopping online, so make sure you turn your logo into a clickable link that takes them directly to your website. I'll show you how to do this during our demo. You've also got to use your brand colors. Now, how many of you already know the hex value for the colors of your brand? Use the dashboard to raise your hand for me if you do. See a couple hands there. Okay. All right, some people know it, some people don't, and that's okay. If you don't already know what your brand colors are, you can use free color match tools like ColorCop or Digital Color Meter to identify the exact brand colors used in your logo and website. Now, Google Chrome has an eyedropper extension for those of you who do not want to install something on your computer. Together, the logo and brand colors help establish a consistency throughout your email that represents your business. Once you've set it up your template with the branding elements, you'll want to select a compelling image. Now, photos really bring your marketing communications to life and grab the reader's attention. Choose an image that supports your message. If you're having a sale on a particular product, include a clear image of the product or an image of someone using the product. If you're promoting an event, use a picture that captures the fun people had at your last event. In this example, Southside Cycling has included an image of the inventory that they're promoting. So just like with your logo, you want to make your supporting image clickable as well. Make sure it links to the same place as your call to action. This image will be something you'll change out for each email that you create. When we make our master reusable template, we'll put in a placeholder. Now let's talk about the next element, the headline. Because your main goal is to inspire more action from your readers, you want to give special attention to your headline. The headline must capture the reader's attention and should be the largest text in your email. So we recommend a 24-point font and to use one of your brand's colors. Once you've piqued your reader's interest, the message body is where you provide detail to readers about the offer. This is where you will give them the information they need to take the next step. Keep your text short and sweet, no longer than 20 lines of text, so that you don't overwhelm your readers. The message body should be 14-point font, and we recommend using a dark text on a light colored background to keep it easy to read. Too many font styles can be distracting, so choose no more than 2 and make sure your formatting is consistent throughout your email. Once you've added your text, you need to get people to take an action. So let's talk about how to do that. Now, when it comes to designing your email, you should never just send an email without asking your audience to do something. We call this the call to action. Use a button to grab your reader's attention and make it easy to click on. Also, make your button pop with a color that matches your brand. You'll need to use action-oriented words on your button to engage your audience. So they think of things like order online, register by April 1st, request a copy, or download our guide. When people click on your button, you also want to make sure they go exactly where you want them to. If you want them to purchase a product, drive them to that exact page where they can purchase the product. You don't want to just send them to the homepage of your website where they have to look all around to find out where you want them to go, because they will just close out of the window and forget about your message. The image, paragraph, and your call to action all work together to get your audience to take action. Now let's talk about the last element of your email. The footer. This is the stamp of useful information at the bottom of your email. The best part about this is that you can set it up in your reusable master template and forget it. You'll only need to update it if something changes to your contact information. Be sure to include your contact information, website, hours of operation, and social media buttons so people know how to get in touch with you if they have questions. So there you have it, folks. Those are all the 7 elements of email design. Now you're ready to create a reusable master template. So let me go ahead and pull up my account here. So give me a moment to do that. All right, I've got it right here. So I want to make sure I had everything good to go. Here we go. Now remember, setting up your reusable master template is going to be the first step to help you create emails quicker in the future. Essentially, you're going to create a template with your branding and the information that doesn't change. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go to this, we're actually going to go to campaigns first. And what we're going to do is click on this blue button over here, and we're going to choose create. And what we're going to do is go ahead and choose email to take us into the templates. There we go. My system's a little slow, so hopefully it's loading easy enough here. So here we need to choose a template. So you can really choose any template that has a layout and design elements that you like. The templates are fully customizable, so you can adjust the layout and elements to fit your needs. So let me show you some of these because I always think these are really awesome. So there are holiday ones that are coming up. So that's something to think about. There's like newsletter. There's just all sorts of really cool templates that you can choose from. Something I always mention to everybody is that if you see something that you like, you can pick it and then just change it to fit your needs. But for today, what I'm going to go ahead and do is go to layouts, and we're going to choose a template in here. So here in the layouts, we have announcement, blank, calendar. We have some different ones that are listed here. I'm going to go ahead for this. I'm going to go ahead and choose blank. Just like I said, it's just taking a second here to load. Okay, so now we're in our template. So I've chosen my layout that I want. I want to start from the ground up, and I'm going to start adding in my elements. Now, the first thing we want to do is give this email a name. So that's up here on the upper left. So I'm going to click inside of here, and I'm going to call this master template with today's date. There we go. Just waiting for that to load. There we go, master templates. And the reason why I picked this is so that it's easier to find in the future. Now, next, we're going to adjust our header information for the fields that won't change for every email, the from and the reply to email address. That's in this area above the email. So I'm going to click inside of here. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is we're going to create an email for Jack's Backyard Barbecue. So that's the name I'm going to use for the from name. Now that name that's here is already listed from when we set up the account. Again, this is my test account, but I'm going to take this out and put Jack's Backyard Barbecue because that's who it's coming from. And remember, you want to use something that your email subscribers will most likely recognize. So they're going to know my Jack's Backyard Barbecue. Now, next, I'm going to want to choose a from email address. So I'm going to choose my Jack's Backyard Barbecue. and then the reply to email address. So for the reply email address, we can use the same one as the from address, or we can have replies go to another address. Whatever email address you decide to use, you want to make sure that someone is monitoring those in case there are replies. When someone responds to an email you send, it's a good relationship building opportunity. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change this to my Jack's Backyard Barbecue. And from experience, I do recommend making sure that it is a managed email. So if somebody does reply, that you can answer those replies. So let me go ahead and save this here. And then the other fields in our header are going to change for every email, the subject and pre-header, but we're going to leave these just the way they are for now. And we're going to start adding in some elements into our email. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this text placeholder block to start with. So I'm just going to click inside of it and hit the little trash can because I want like a blank canvas. Now I'm going to go over to build. The top here, I'm in build. I'm going to go to images. And I want to find my logo. So I'm going to scroll down here and let's find my Jack's Backyard Barbecue logo. There it is. I'm going to click and drag it over. Now you'll notice that there's a purple line. It's like a purple pinkish line when we click and drag elements in. This is showing us where the elements will drop. And when we let go of the mouse, that's where it's going to land. So I do want to make my image a little bit bigger. So on the bottom right-hand side, I'm going to go ahead and make my image a little bit bigger. Ooh, maybe that's a little too big. And then I've got that the way I like it. The size is perfect. Now, don't forget to make your logo clickable to the homepage of your website. This will allow readers to click on your logo to get any information they need from your website. Also, people like to click on things. So make it easy for them to just click on it and go to whatever it is you want them to go to. Now let me grab my website, and to make it clickable, I'm going to click on my logo, and then there's a little chain icon, and I'm going to choose web page. And then I'm going to go ahead and paste this in and insert. There it is. All right, so let's go ahead and add in the other elements that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the build. And we are creating our master template, so we need to add in an image placeholder. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a image block for our supporting image. So there are two ways that you can add in elements to your email. So you can click and drag it over like this, or you can double click and it goes to the bottom of the email. Now I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. We don't need this one here, but there's different ways that you can do it. Now this image that will go in here will be our supporting image for when we add in our content. But for now, we're just going to leave it the way it is. Okay, so next up is going to be a headline. So I'm going to add in some text for the headline. So let me go and show you what that looks like. So there's two different types of headlines. So let me add them both in. Delete this little, there we go, this little spacer. So we have two different headlines. So I double click to add them both in. Now we've got one without a background and one with a background color. And you're going to see it's kind of like a light gray. Now I don't really need the one that has the background color, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that one. Click inside of it and then hit the little trash can. Now, next up, I want underneath our headline, I want to add in a text block. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to add in a text block. Just double click it in, or if you're more comfortable, you can drag and drop it in. And again, this will also change for every email, so I'm just going to leave it the way it is. Now, next up, I want to add in a button for our call to action. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to double click to add in my button. And this will also change when we put in our content. Now, lastly, we need to add in our footer. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use a particular style of block for my format. So let me go ahead here and choose that. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and add in the 2-column, this one right here. I'll click and drag that over, and there it is. So with this particular 2-column template or 2-column block that I want, I'm not going to need these image placeholders. So I'm going to delete these. Because I don't need those. And I have some text that I want to put into these. So let me go ahead and put in my text. So I have my left and right hand side. The text that in here is just temporary text that I can just go ahead and get rid of. So let me go ahead and remove this. And I'm going to paste in my text. And then I'm also going to do that with the other side because it's got my hours, my store hours, and my phone number for my business. And the text that's in here is just temporary text. Some people call it dummy text, temporary text, whatever you want to call it. It's not actually in here. It's here for you to change. So I took that out. And I'm going to go ahead and make my Jack's Backyard Barbecue website clickable as well. I don't want to forget that. There it is. And then I'm going to make my store hours over on this side bold. We have like, you could do bold, italicized, you could do all sorts of cool formatting. And hit done. And that's something I do recommend too, is if you have this stuff written out, you can easily cut and paste in the information right into your template. Now, don't forget to add in your social media. So let me go ahead and add in my social follow. This is kind of my favorite part. So I've got this added in. Let's go ahead and customize this. So if I click on my icon, so I added in my social follow, I'm going to click on my icons. I have the option to align them differently. I can change the size. I can make them large, small, medium. I'm going to keep them medium. And if I choose edit, it's going to open up on the left-hand side. And I have a whole bunch of different options. So I can have rounded or the circle. I can have the regular social media colors. I can do black and white. I can do kind of like a white and gray, and then gray and white, like a grayscale. And what's also really neat is I can choose if I want to have square, speech bubble, or silhouette. I like silhouette personally, so I'm going to keep those. Now, for social pages, you can add in a whole bunch of different social pages. Now, we have Facebook and Twitter. I'm going to take these out and show you how to add in the links. You can also add in a network as well. So we have Instagram, LinkedIn, we have Pinterest, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. We have a lot that you can utilize in here. So, which I think is really neat. Email, webpage. Again, right now we only have Facebook and Twitter. So let's go ahead and add in our links to these. So I'm going to go and grab my Facebook URL. So I've got it written out. I'm going to grab that. I'm just going to paste it right on in. And then with Twitter, it's the same way. There it is. There's my Twitter. So those will be connected. I do get this question a lot too of how do I get my website to like my social media pages? If you just go to your profile of your social media page, you can just copy the top URL and then paste it in here. Okay, so I've got those in here. Now, next up, I want to go ahead and add a little separation. So I'm going to go ahead and drag in a couple dividers. So I'm going to do one below my button and one underneath my footer information right here. So I think that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. Now, one last thing I want to do is adjust our colors to match our branding. So I am on a PC and I'm going to use a tool called ColorCop to match the colors from Jack's logo. You can download this tool from colorcop.net. Now, if you're on a Mac computer, just look for the digital color meter tool within your programs. So let me bring out my ColorCop. Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and grab the color of the piglet here. I'm going to go to design and I'm going to plug in the color that it gave me. So my outer background, and then I'm going to go to advanced. As you can see, you can move your mouse across. I'll go to advanced and I'm going to plug in this color. What I usually tell people to do too, it's kind of think about your email as you're filling in the blank. You're just filling it in with your information. Now I'm going to change a couple other things in here. I want to make like my dividers that same brown color. So I'm going to change the dividers to the same brown as my logo. There's that. Let's see here. I also want to change in my fonts, I want to change my heading to be that same brown color. Our system does have recent color, so it will remember the most recent color. So I'm going to change it to that brown. And then with the text body, ideally you want to use a dark color text on a light colored background. So I'm going to leave the font color for the body just the way it is. And I'm going to change the orange color from before for the body links. So let's go to my body links. I'm going to make it that orange color. There it is. And then I'm going to use brown for my button. There it is. All right. So I've got the brown for my headline and my dividers. That all looks great. Just want to make sure that my link is linked with the color. And there we go. And that's it. Our master template is now complete. So in order to create an actual email campaign, I'm going to go ahead. Everything's been saved. I'm going to go back out to the campaigns tab. And I'm going to click on the three little dots over here on the right-hand side of my template. And I'm going to choose copy. And I'm going to give this a new name. So I'm going to call it 10/14/22 brisket promotion. And hit save. There we go. And remember, we will make a copy anytime we want to use this template. And that's because we want to keep our master template just the way it is. Now, I will come back to this email in a moment. And at this point, let's switch gears so we could talk about what you're going to put in your email campaigns. In particular, let me show you how to inspire your readers to take action. Remember, every email should have a supporting image that draws your reader into your message. It is, of course, best if you can use your own photos, but if you can't, you can always access free and paid stock photos within your Constant Contact account. You don't want to just use any image you find on the internet, as you could find yourself in trouble regarding copyright laws. And while there are a variety of online stock photo sites, I suggest checking out unsplash.com for access to free photos. When searching for images, you want to avoid using photos that look too staged. You want images that look natural and realistic because they tend to work better. And when you download a photo, be sure the image is 600 to 800 pixels wide to get the best quality. Now, one of the things that seems to trip people up is knowing what to say and how to say it. Let's talk about how to structure your email to encourage people to take action. If you can answer these 3 questions for the reader, you can write a persuasive email. So, what are you offering? From a design perspective, this is your headline, and its goal is to stop the reader, pique their interest, and make them want to read more, leading them to your message body. In your message body, you have to answer the question, how will it help the reader? This text should pull the reader towards your call to action. Typically, you only need 3 to 5 sentences, but make sure you provide just enough information to give your reader the information they need to take action. Then for the call to action, you have to answer, what should they do next? Tell them specifically what it is you want them to do, and make sure the call to action is easy to find and click on within your email. Now, if you're a nonprofit or just want to send a non-promotional email, you'll ask yourself these questions. What are you wanting to accomplish? This will be the headline that leads them to your message body. In your message body, you have to answer the question, why should the reader care? This text should elaborate on the problem or topic and provide details to explain why they matter to your reader. You'll want to keep this to 3 to 5 sentences as well. Then for the call to action, you have to answer, how can the reader get involved? Invite your audience to take part in solving the problem and helping your cause, or learning more about the topic you're discussing. These simple formulas will help you to write your email's text. Now, as you're designing your email campaign, it's important to keep it simple. In order to inspire your readers to take action, you've got to keep your emails short and sweet. When you copy your reusable master template, you only need to add a picture, paragraph, and your call to action, and that's it. So now you've got a basis for designing and writing your email content. We're ready to create our first email campaign. So I'm going to open up our demo account again, and we've already got our copy made. It's here and ready to go. We just need to add in the content. So let's go ahead. First, we're going to start up with our header information. So I'm going to click it again. It's right up here at the top. And I'm going to start plugging in this information in here. Okay, so for my header, I'm going to change the subject line to say, bring a friend for smoked brisket. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in here. So I'll take this out. And then my pre-header is, you don't want to miss this deal, because I don't want anybody to miss this. I think what I'll do is I'll bring my friend Dominique with me to this brisket promotion. All right, so next up, we're going to add in the content for the body. So I'm going to hit save here. And then we're going to start adding in our text. So let's go ahead and do our image. Remember, we need to add in a supporting image for our smoked brisket promotion. So I'm going to go to the images section. And I'm going to find my smoked brisket image. So let me scroll down here. Here it is. I'm going to click and drag it right on top of my image placeholder. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is make it a little bit bigger so that it's easy to see. And I've resized it. And I also want to make this clickable so that they can make a reservation on my website. So let me go ahead and grab that URL. So that way they can make a reservation online. Choose the little chain icon, choose web page, and I'm going to paste in my URL. There we go. Now, next up is our headline. So we've got to add in the headline, and when we think back to how to write our email, we need to ask ourselves, what are we offering? So the headline is going to be, why buy one smoked brisket entree, get the second at half price. So let me go ahead and add that in. There we go. I need to resize this just a tad. There we go. 24-point font. Make sure it's my brown. There we go. That looks good. Now, next up is the body text. So here we need to answer the question, how will it help the reader? So I'm going to add in the text. Our smoked brisket entree is so mouth-wateringly delicious. You want to share the experience with your friends. Save some money on a great meal today. Buy one smoked brisket entree and get the second 50% off. Offer ends Saturday, actually Sunday at 9:00 p.m. Make a reservation to ensure you take advantage of this deal. So let me go ahead and add that in. I also wanted to make this bold. There we go. And then adding in my text. There it is. I want to make sure that they take advantage of this deal. And then next up, we need to edit our button. We need to get our readers to take an action. So here we need to answer the question, what should they do next? So we're going to use this button here and change it to say make a reservation. And when they click on the button, it's going to take them and link them to our website to make a reservation. So just like our image at the top, this one is going to go to the same place to make a reservation. So I'm going to paste this in. And then I'm going to put here, make a reservation and insert. There it is. That looks good. And I'm going to save it. And that's it. We're done. Because we created our master template, you'll see it didn't take long to add in our content. All we need to do now is schedule it to send to our list. But before we do that, it's always a good idea to double check everything. So what we're going to go ahead and do on the upper right, we have a preview and test. I'm going to start out with check for errors really quick here. And what's cool with this feature is that it looks for issues and suggestions for your subject line, pre-header, from name, and email address, and any links or buttons. That looks good. And I'm going to go back up to preview and test. And then the other thing I want to do is go to send a test. So be sure to check out all of your links to make sure they're working and read through your email. We can see how the email will look like on a desktop and mobile. So there it is, mobile. And then here's desktop. And then on the right over here, we can enter up to 4 additional email addresses. So you can have others to receive the test copy. And you can add in a personal note. So I could say, hey, check this out. I hope it looks good. Would love feedback. Something like that. When they receive it, it'll say test copy at the bottom. But it's great if you're sending it to a colleague, a friend, a spouse, just to have another set of eyes to look at your email. So, and then all you have to do is hit send now and they will receive that. So let's go ahead. Let's say that this email is good to go. What we're going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to select continue. Let's say you sent it out to everybody. It looks wonderful. And then here it is where I'm going to go ahead and send this out. Now on this page, I'm going to choose a list of contacts that we want to send to. So I'm going to choose the specials list. There it is, my specials and promotions. And let's see here. Next, we're going to look at when to send. So based on my industry and past reporting, I know that Thursday at 10 o'clock is going to be a good time to send. So the 20th, I set it at 10 o'clock p.m. And once you've sent, I encourage you to look at your own open report to find trends for your specific audience. You'll want to see when they opened up your emails. That will help you to optimize your send time to future email campaigns. And now you're ready to hit schedule. And it will go out at that time. Most people will open up your email within the first 48 hours. So be sure to check out the reporting page so you can see your results. And that's it. We've just created and scheduled our first email campaign with the help of our reusable master template. Now let's spend a few minutes to recap what you've learned today. Hopefully you remember Peter's email from earlier. Well, we spent some time providing tips to help Peter with his email marketing, and he created this new email design much more quickly using a master template. It's not perfect, but as you can see, the information is shorter, much easier to read, matches his brand, and actually looks great on a mobile phone too. Peter sent 2 emails and made over $900 just because he made these changes. He followed this simple system, and now he's sending more emails and getting better results, and you can too. Peter actually set up his email campaign with the 7 essential elements of design. Remember, they are the header information and pre-header text, so your readers are enticed to open up the email, branded logo and colors, an image to connect your readers to your message, the message body to provide the details to drive people to your call to action, and the footer information, which allows them to get in touch with you. We have a handout in the download that you could download in the GoToWebinar control panel. You can click the link to open up the document and save it to your desktop. This document contains the email design checklist with all of the 7 design elements and the steps you'll need to successfully send your email campaign when you are ready. Next, you'll want to keep your email campaign short and sweet to make it easy for your readers to take action. Remember the 3 questions: your headline, so what are you offering? How will it help the reader, which is your body text, and then your call to action, which is what should they do next? These questions are going to help you to easily write the content for each email campaign. Finally, getting started by creating your reusable template, you'll save yourself a ton of time on future emails and provide a consistent look and feel that gets your readers to take action. After the session today, log in so you can get started creating your template. And don't forget, we're here to help. So if you find that you're short on time and want some help, request a template design from our professionals. They'll create a template that fits the look and feel of your website starting at only $79. We'll go ahead and share a link in the questions window. Just choose the design that you'd like and fill out the form to request your template. And we have come to question time. So please keep in mind, we have a lot of people joining us today, and we're going to do our best to get all of your questions answered. However, if we don't get to your question, please keep in mind we have a lot of resources to help, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. And while everyone is typing in their email or typing in their information, sorry, their questions, we have an upcoming webinar I wanted to let you know about. It's called Uploading and Managing Contacts with Constant Contact. This session is a great next step to help you get your contacts uploaded before you send your first email. In that upcoming webinar, we will cover what you'll need to upload and organize your contacts. Constant Contact makes it quick and easy to add your contacts to your account and manage them so you can send emails that get results. If you're unable to attend, please register anyway. That way we can send you a free recording of the session that you can watch on your own time. So let's see here. And that is going to be, Dominic just shared that with everybody. And that's going to be next Wednesday, October 19th. So check that out. So let's get to some of these questions. So Jennifer has a good question. Does the call to action button have to go to a website? Can it go to another document or of information? I have an email to send with a lot of information. So yes, Jennifer, you actually just answered your own question. So let me pop back into my account here. I'm going to unschedule this email because it does not have to go to a website at all. You can actually add in a document. So let me go to edit, just taking a second here. So let's go ahead and pretend here. So this will give you a good example. Let's say that I'm making it's my brisket promotion, but I'm going to add in another button. And instead, so I have to make a reservation, but I also want my subscribers to be able to view my menu. So I can choose link and I can choose document. So we have where that you could do a web page, email, document, landing page, or phone. Landing page is to get like more signups. You're going to probably want to stick with the document. So when I click on document, I can upload it here. So I have we're going to use my backyard grilling recipe book. Let's do my book. So I'm going to just say download grilling book. We're just going to call it that for now. There it is. So when people click on my brisket download grilling book, it will open, sorry, it opened up in another window, and then there is my document. So you can upload a PDF, you can upload PDFs. Oh, there's actually a couple different ones. Most people use PDFs for this, but yeah, you can add that in, and then they would just be taken right to your document. So I'm blanking all of a sudden on the other documents that you can upload. Here we go. Let me open it up in a new tab here. Yeah, so you can upload that. PDF is usually the typical one, especially if you have a lot of different pieces that you're putting in. I was trying to think of the other one. So like a Word document, you can do that too. I've seen people utilize a Word document, but it's truly up to you. So I'll drop this in for everybody. And you'll definitely want, Jennifer, to have those different call to actions for your email. So let me pull this back up again. So if you have a lot of different things that you're putting in here, you could definitely add in more buttons for your call to actions. Depending on how your structure is, you can have your images clickable to those documents too. I've had people have like an image that they'll create that says like, click here to download, and then the image would be the document too. So you can really make it kind of your own as well. So let's see here. I had a question too about, does Unsplash have some decent photos? So they actually do. Let me go to Unsplash just to show you. Let's look for barbecue. And they're all free images. So some really good ones. Again, because the holidays are coming up, I would highly recommend starting to think about the holidays. Fall is right now, beautiful pictures. So there's some really cool stuff there that you guys can utilize as well. So good questions. Let's see here. This was a good question. And this actually might even be helpful for you too, Jennifer, depending on what you're sending out. But the question is, should I change my email template each time I create an email? So really, we do recommend you find a template that you like for each type of email that you're sending out. So like one is for newsletter, one could be for promotions, one is for informational. So you can have like a master template for these different types of mailings that you're sending out. So if you do have one that has a lot of information, you can have maybe more of a newsletter style structure. Again, all those different templates that I showed you before, there's all sorts of different templates for those. Plus, depending on who you're sending to, also has some effect on that too. So definitely something to consider. Good question. All right. All right, so I'm gonna keep this open for just another moment, see if there's any other questions. And as we wrap up, I want to make sure that you guys have the resources that you may need in the future. So if you have any questions about the topics that we discussed in today's session, we have a variety of resources to help. So you can access the help link at the top right of your account to search our FAQs, register for an upcoming webinar, or even find information to contact our support team. I'm also going to have Dominique share a link to all of our getting started webinars along with the session on uploading contacts. We have many other helpful sessions to help you with all the areas of your online marketing. So, and then also, we'd also love your feedback. So when you close out of the webinar today and in the follow-up email, you'll see a survey. Please take a few minutes to share your feedback with us. And we do look at those. We want to make sure that we're helping you in any way we can. All right. Not seeing any other questions. I'll keep this open for just another moment. Grab whatever links you want to. Make sure you come to our other webinars that are happening, some really good ones. All right, I don't see any other questions. You guys have been fantastic. I want to thank everybody for joining us for our webinar today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day.